Good morning, everyone. My name is Hamdi Mohammed, and I am the interim director of the Seattle Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. Welcome to the city of Seattle and our press conference on the Naturalize 2 Million by 2022 campaign. This campaign is in collaboration with OneAmerica. This press conference is also in collaboration with OneAmerica, Cities for Citizenship, C4C, the National Partners for New Americans, NPNA. Both C4C and NPNA have been working with dozens of cities and counties all across the country to help educate and empower eligible permanent residents to become citizens. The campaign has been traveling all around the country, and we are so excited to have them here with us today. Our Seattle Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs has 2 citizenship programs that focuses on providing services to eligible residents in partnership with our local nonprofits. These services are provided to residents all across our county as well. As the new interim director of the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs and under Mayor Bruce Harrell's leadership, I am so proud to renew our commitment as an office to citizenship and to continue to move this important work forward. You know, I remember being a kid and helping my mom prepare for her citizenship test. We would stay up all night and practice those 100 questions together. And it was such an exciting moment when she did receive her citizenship. Those of us who are here today know the importance that citizenship plays in a family's life. Citizenship facilitates access to employment and education. I know firsthand how citizenship changes the lives of immigrants and refugees firsthand. Before we begin today with our amazing line of speakers, I just want to acknowledge that we in Seattle and in King County are on traditional lands of the Coast Salish people, past and present, and honor with gratitude the land itself and the first people. This acknowledgement only becomes meaningful when combined with accountable relationships and meaningful actions. Now I have the honor to introduce Roxanna Narusi, Executive Director of OneAmerica, who it will continue to facilitate this press conference with us today. She will also introduce our amazing lines of speakers, including our honorable elected officials who are here. Roxanna has over a decade of experience in advocacy and social justice work with immigrant and refugee populations, and she works very closely with our Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs at the City of Seattle. Roxanna, welcome.
Hamdi, thank you so much. It is such an honor to have you as part of the OneAmerica family, and we are so proud of you and your leadership and all the ways you continue to lead on issues of immigrant rights. As Hamdi said, my name is Roxanna Narusi, and I'm the Executive Director of OneAmerica. OneAmerica is the largest immigrant advocacy organization in the state focused on building power in immigrant communities. OneAmerica is also a proud member of the National Partnership for New Americans and the Naturalize 2 Million by 2022 campaign. We want to thank the City of Seattle for hosting us today and for so long being such a leader on issues of immigrant rights. We welcome Mayor Bruce Harrell, King County Executive Constantine, City Councilwoman Tammy Morales, Chair of the King County Council Claudia Balducci, our partners at the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, Asian Counseling and Referral Services, and members of the press for being here. Thank you all. Since 2008, OneAmerica has worked hard to offer free naturalization services to qualified legal permanent residents across the state of Washington. We believe naturalization is central to immigrant integration and one of the many steps our grassroots leaders take towards building power. Power in voting, advocating for the issues they care most about, and most importantly, becoming civically engaged. Our program, the Washington New Americans, or WNA for short, is an innovative partnership between Washington's Department of Commerce and OneAmerica. Since its inception, WNA has provided over 47,000 Washington residents with citizenship services. And in the past 2 years, even during the pandemic, over 1,200 of our clients have naturalized. WNA hosts about 11 free citizenship legal clinics across Washington with volunteer attorneys, paralegals, and interpreters ready to help residents complete their naturalization forms. In addition, the program disperses half of its $2 million biennium funding to 13 grantees across the state. These organizations offer in-person and case management citizenship services. Asian Counseling and Referral Services, who are here today, is one of those grantees. In addition, OneAmerica is also a member of the Seattle's new Citizenship Campaign, which hosts monthly clinics and workshops across the city. Like Hamdi, this issue is not only about numbers and applications, but for me, it's also very personal. As the daughter of Iranian immigrants, I remember at 8 years old, the day my parents naturalized, also studying all those naturalization questions at the kitchen table and going in with nerves, and then finally becoming US citizens. What it meant for us as a family was safety from persecution of returning to our home country, which was not safe, the right to vote and participate in our democracy, and especially for my immigrant mom, the security of belonging and inclusion in the US. And this is not just my experience. So many of us here today can relate to this process of becoming a citizen. Research points to the positive impacts of citizenship on increasing wages and lowering poverty rates. In addition, naturalization leads to better jobs, higher rates of home ownership, access to federal funded programs and employment, and full civic engagement for new Americans. Research shows that there are 263,000 legal permanent residents eligible to naturalize in Washington state in the coming years. If all eligible permanent residents in Washington naturalize, they could generate $867 million in additional earnings for the state's economy. OneAmerica continues to demand that local, county, and state governments support and fund naturalization programs. U.S. citizenship can seem a pipe dream for many as the process is complicated and expensive. It can cost up to $4,000 in attorney and immigration fees. Programs like ours ensure that citizenship is accessible to all those that qualify no matter their income. But without increased government funding, we will never be able to serve all those who are currently eligible for citizenship. Because of the public investments that the state, the county, and the city has invested in, we have a huge opportunity coming up. We would like to invite members of the public who have been legal permanent residents for 5 years or 3 if married to a U.S. citizen to come to our Citizenship Day this Saturday, April 23rd in Tacoma and in Vancouver, Washington. This is a free event where we will be providing legal advice and aiding folks to complete their naturalization forms. For more information, folks can call or text our citizenship hotline at 206-926-3924. Naturalization is the end of a long and convoluted legal road for immigrants who arrive to this country with their dreams, heartaches, and resiliency. Like it did for my family, citizenship gives so many immigrants security of not being deported, the right to vote, and a real sense of belonging. Let's work together to ensure every Washington resident who qualifies for naturalization actually becomes a citizen. And with that, I'm very proud to introduce Mayor Bruce Harrell, who will talk about the administration's efforts to promote citizenship across the great city of Seattle. Welcome, Mayor.
Thank you, Roxanna and Hamdi, for taking all of my talking points. But they should, because they are truly leaders in this space, and it's my honor to stand beside them. 2 million by 2022. What a outstanding aspirational goal that can be achieved with the right leadership. And I'm very convinced we have the right leadership. It's very fitting that we're holding this in the Norm Rice conference room. To give you a little history, the city of Seattle's formal support for citizenship began in 1997 under Mayor Rice. This was in response to the passage of the Federal Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act and the Illegal Immigration and Immigrant Responsibility Act in 1996, which barred legal permanent residence from certain federal safety net programs. And so we saw under Mayor Rice the leadership that this city and this county and this state should be known for in terms of being welcoming to the immigrant and refugee communities. The city's first program was the new Citizen Program Ncp that utilized a consortium model that encourages collaboration and partnership amongst community-based organizations that offered services to low-income immigrants and refugees who face the greatest challenges to gaining citizenship because of significant barriers to age and disability and limited English proficiency and low literacy at those levels. And so, again, we have tried to show some leadership, and I must put it in the context of what's happening in this country. A country that still grapples with issues about a woman's right to choose what to do with her body throughout this country that we're seeing in 2022. A country that struggles with a war against voter suppression, which is a threat to democracy everywhere that we're still talking about. And in recent years, this very twisted conversation about immigrants and refugees. That's why this work is so important. That's why this is wake-up work that, you know, it's sort of what I call a two-way love affair. By that, the city has to realize the great benefits we receive as a country based on the purchasing power, the work ethic, the culture, the food, the rhythm, everything that a rich, vibrant immigrant community brings to this country to make it great. And secondly, hopefully, the opportunities that, like my grandparents had when they immigrated here, like the opportunities that we see in our office. I'm very proud that we have members from the immigrant and refugee communities here in leadership positions. I see to my left, Adia Emery, who is our chief equity officer on the senior cabinet. Hamdi is known in this space. And so I think that's one of the greatest things we could do is show the brilliance of this community in leadership positions. So the City of Seattle and partner organizations have assisted over 32,600 applicants and over 16,600 applicants submitted. So as I close and introduce another phenomenal leader in this space, Councilmember Morales, I will say once again, I'm very proud of the energy and the leadership that I see around me. I'm going to make a plug that right now the new Citizen Program under the leadership of Hamdi Mohammed, we have an RFP process open for agencies interested in providing naturalization assistance and related services to low-income immigrants and refugees as a partner with OIRA's new Citizen Program. So I wanted to make that plug because we will continue to invest in this area because, yes, while I firmly believe in OneAmerica and their mission, I also believe in One Seattle and their mission as well. Because the concept is that we are all so better when we open up our hands and open up our arms and welcome people. That's what makes us a rich community. And so that's, again, why I'm proud to stand with these leaders around me. So I will close by saying, I hope I left some speaking points for our King County exec and Councilmember Morales, but I want to introduce Councilmember Morales, who again continues to be a continued and very vocal leader in this space. Councilmember Morales.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Tammy Morales, and I am the Seattle City Council member representing District 2, which includes the Chinatown International District and South Seattle. And I want to share just a quick story of my own. First, I want to thank the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, OneAmerica, and the New Partnership for New Americans for hosting this press conference and for your work on the campaign to legalize 2 million permanent residents by the end of 2022. I'm excited for this work and for our ongoing partnership to make this a successful campaign. I do want to share just a little bit about my story around immigration and its role in my family's lineage. My grandmother immigrated from Europe after World War II and married into my grandfather's very traditional Mexican family. Her journey included having to learn 2 new cultures: what it is to be an American but also what it is to start a new life on the Texas border, where Spanish is the predominant language, and where my bisabuela, my great-grandmother, was not crazy about having a daughter-in-law who was not Mexican. They got over it, and eventually my grandmother did gain her citizenship. The experience of having to learn a new culture while building a new life is often made harder by the very difficult ways folks have to navigate our immigration system in the United States. And the cost of citizenship is prohibiting to many who are lack the resources or lack the legal knowledge or access to that knowledge to get them through the process. The application process to navigating appointments, not to mention the actual fees themselves, as Hamdi mentioned, it's a miracle if anybody can do it on their own. The City of Seattle and the City Council have recognized the need to close this gap by creating 2 city programs that have been mentioned already. The new Citizen Program is a consortium of 13 organizations across the city and county that offer naturalization services for low-income folks. And the second is the new Citizen Campaign, which is an effort to help tens of thousands of legal permanent residents here in Seattle to become citizens. And they use citizenship legal clinics, education and outreach, citizen curriculum, offer legal assistance itself, and really engage with local and national partners to help people understand what these programs offer. The City Council was key to securing funding for these programs for the new Citizen Campaign in 2016 in response to the anti-immigrant enforcement that we saw with the Trump administration. And as many of you know, we're still dealing with the repercussions of that anti-immigrant policy and system, and it's really taken a toll on far too many of our neighbors. Access to citizenship comes with an increased chance of employment, with a right to vote and to travel freely abroad, and importantly, security from deportation. In my district alone, there are over 23 languages spoken in the Seattle public school system, and over 65% of households in my district speak a language other than English at home. So my colleagues and I in the council will continue to champion naturalization services and support efforts, particularly those that are made by our Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs and partner organizations. And I'm committed to ensuring future funding remains for these programs and possibly even increased funding if that's a possibility. We'll champion that, yes. So I'll be promoting the naturalization clinics that have been discussed. Those are taking place this month. So we'll be using our office newsletter, our social media accounts this month and throughout the rest of the year to make sure that people in the South End especially know that these opportunities are available. So I want to thank you all again for your work to ensure that the City of Seattle and King County are doing what we can to ensure that legal permanent residents have access to naturalization services. And the last thing I want to say is that if you are somebody who is eligible for naturalization, please take advantage of these services, take advantage of the resources and the legal assistance that is available, and begin your journey to becoming a new American. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Morales, both for sharing your story and for your leadership on the issue of citizenship. Thank you. Up next, we have Nicole Malashu, my colleague, and the Executive Director of the National Partnership for New Americans. Nicole is really the visionary and the leader behind the Naturalize 2 Million by 2022 campaign, and will tell us more about the efforts to naturalize 2 million legal permanent residents across the United States. Let's welcome Nicole.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. And thank you for this beautiful, warm welcome to the Emerald City. I think you all really have taken all my talking points. On behalf of NPNA, I just really want to congratulate the City of Seattle for the incredible work that you've been doing, and for the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs for making sure that citizenship is accessible and that it's affordable for our communities to begin this process. Throughout the week, this is a week of action for us, and we have hit the country, including Nevada just the day before yesterday, to talk about the economic benefits of citizenship. I don't need to belabor the point that we know that when folks access the process, they are able to acquire better jobs, economic mobility for their family, and stability. So in this way, citizenship is a generational investment for our community and for the individuals that begin this process. At the same time, we know that our job as national advocates is to make sure that citizenship remains affordable for as many people as possible. And so we commit to work closely with USCIS to make sure that there are no fee increases that would inhibit more of our communities to access this process. Since our inception as NPNA, full citizenship is the ultimate goal. We want to make sure that people have an on-ramp to be more fully integrated into their communities and participate in a reflective, beautiful, and vibrant democracy like we see here in the Emerald City. I want to thank our partners at OneAmerica, the C4Z Executive Committee, the Seattle Office of Immigrant Affairs, King County, and ACRS for the warm welcome that you've provided today. At this time, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, King County Executive Dow Constantine, our county partners who will be sharing a very special announcement with us. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here today, Nicole, with you and with everyone, especially those who are new fellow Americans. I think it's one of the best things about our nation, the idea that no matter where our journey begins, every one of us can make a home and a life here in the United States. Though we have not, as a nation, always acted this way. But the idea embedded in our foundation, our government, was to build a better path forward for every person, a place where every person would be able to find safe harbor, no matter what the storm abroad. You know, that idea that we are greater than the sum of our parts is part of our story as a nation and the story of each of us, of each of you. For those joining us today, if you are a citizen, thank you. And as everyone must by now know, in King County, our commitment to building a more equitable future is for all of those in our community, those who are already citizens, those who are working toward becoming citizens, those who are here to build community and to build a life for their family. King County's mission, our true north, is that we will be a welcoming community where every person can thrive. A welcoming community where every person can thrive. Keeping that promise for every person is at the core of what we do every day. That's why we've ensured support is readily available for those who need it. Last June, we invested more than $16 million in our Immigrant Relief Fund to help people take those next steps on their path to citizenship and assist with DACA. And based on feedback from King County's immigrant and refugee community, we also provided, for example, free dental care to patients, regardless of immigration status, to help ensure that every person could stay healthy. And along with our work on behalf of immigrants and refugees is the work that the people of King County do every day in the public sector, in the private sector, to build a diverse, thriving community, because the strength of our community is really based on the strength and the health of every single member of that community. So thank you again for continuing to write your story, the story of America. We are looking forward to continuing to be a home for every person looking to build a better life and a place where truly every person can thrive. And it's now my opportunity to introduce to you someone who has been a stalwart defender of and worker for the rights of immigrants in King County. She represents a district that includes cities on the east side, which in the course of a very few years have become more diverse and with a higher percentage of immigrants than my city of birth, Seattle. And she is now the chair of the King County Council. Please join me in welcoming Councilmember Claudia Balducci.
Well, thank you, Dow. And thank you, everyone who's here today on behalf of this really important initiative. I am so proud to join you all here today. My name is Claudia Balducci, and I am the chair of the King County Council. I represent the district that includes Bellevue, Kirkland, Redmond, Mercer Island, and much of the east side. We all know throughout our region how critical immigrants are to our success, to our economic success, to the richness, the vibrancy, the fabric of our whole community. Most of us came from immigrants or immigrated ourselves here. And it's really important to the success of our communities and to all of our people that we continue to hold the door open for the folks who are coming alongside us and behind us and going to be the future of our success as a region. We also know that citizenship offers very distinct benefits to people who complete the process. Economic benefits like more secure access to employment, like a broader range of jobs, access to employment rights in the workplace that can be abused if you don't have citizenship. It opens up educational pathways and gives access to needed services that citizens are eligible for. And it also brings a sense of safety and belonging, and of course, the ability to participate in our wonderful democracy. In Washington State, there are almost 300,000 lawful permanent residents who are eligible for citizenship, and in King County, that number is over 75,000, and we can make a difference in those numbers. Because of the advantages of citizenship, the work that NPNA and the Cities for Citizenship Partnership do are so important. And I'm very proud to announce that yesterday at the King County Council meeting, we voted unanimously to join Cities for Citizenship as one of their few county members. It's been a while coming, and I was very glad to be able to get that done in time to share that with you during this great week of action. But we have, in fact, been a partner in spirit for a while now. Last year, in our budget process, we allocated $11.3 million in relief funds for undocumented immigrants who were excluded from other COVID relief funds, thanks to keep calling you council member, former council member, current county executive Dow Constantine. And I was proud to work with our Immigrant and Refugee Commission at King County to ask what other barriers exist for immigrants, especially in this time of COVID. And we learned about how the fees and various costs to attain citizenship access to which people are eligible are absolutely a barrier to folks. And so we were proud to create a new program funded with federal money, $5 million to help immigrants apply for documented status and citizenship. We're not aware of any other county that's doing this, and we were very proud to be a leader in this regard. And now, by joining the Cities for Citizenship Initiative, which hopefully someday will be renamed the Counties and Cities for Citizenship Initiative, we are going to double our commitment, double our efforts, and continue to work to make citizenship a reality for all of the people in our county who are already contributing members, partners in our community, and who will benefit from access to citizenship. Thank you all for this wonderful event, and thank you for having us here today.
Thank you so much, Council Chair Claudia, and also Executive Constantine. Thank you for your exciting announcement, and we're working on that name change. Wonderful. Our next speaker is, one of our important new members who've joined the network, Asian Counseling and Referral Service, or ACRS, is joining us today, and we'll talk about the services they provide to the communities they serve. So it's my pleasure to welcome Alexandra Olins.
Hi, good morning. ACRS is a nonprofit in South Seattle with almost 50 years of service experience providing much needed services to immigrants and refugees. So ACRS is grateful for funding from the city and the state of Washington that enables us to do the critical work of helping people become American citizens. As you will hear from our client, Laura, there's a lot of work that goes into helping people naturalize. The N400 application is complicated. It's 20 pages long. It contains many questions that are hard to understand. So it takes about 2 to 3 hours of careful work, one-on-one client and case manager work to complete one N400 application. Many of our clients also take citizenship classes to help them prepare for their interview at USCIS, which will take place months later. Each class is 10 weeks long and meets for 4 hours a week. In the class, the instructor covers ESL, reading and writing practice. They review the 100 questions that you've heard referred to, and they provide interview practice for our students who are often nervous before their interviews. We offer classes at different levels, so students can move up as their English language improves. Many people cannot do this work on their own. The process is complicated and it's intimidating, and they need someone they can trust to help them along the way. And ACRS case managers provide needed services to the community. We also partner with OIRA and OneAmerica to offer citizenship clinics and group naturalization workshops. We offer virtual clinics once a month. The work is time-consuming. The work is life-changing. Without funding from the city and the state, our experienced case managers could not do this work. If you're interested in learning more about our services or getting help with naturalization, contact ACRS. We can help you. We are grateful to be part of the Naturalize 2 Million campaign with the City of Seattle, King County, and OneAmerica. I will now turn it over to Laura Espinosa Gonzalez so she can tell you why she sought assistance from ACRS to become a U.S. citizen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Laura Espinosa Gonzalez. I am from Oaxaca, Mexico. I live in Kansas City with my husband, 2 daughters, 2 boys. I read a book that said this phrase: the older you are, the younger you get when you move to the United States. And that's right. For 6 years, I went through many challenges like new language, job, culture, etc. But I know I'm blessed to be here. I am not alone in this. One reason I decided to become a citizen was because I wanted to vote and participate in the U.S. democracy. This country gave me so much, so I want to keep my promise to be loyal to the United States. Since my oldest daughter, who is 16 years old, studied college in high school and looks forward going to university, I have started thinking to the future of my kids, and I want to support them. Becoming a citizen gives me the opportunity to access a better job and federal job. With this, I can earn more money and help my children financially. Currently, I study in Highland College, ESO classes, and Bridge to College. In the future, I want to be a social worker and help people like you. I'm so proud of my kids, and I want them to feel proud of their mom for achieving her goals. ACRS helped me a lot during the naturalization process. I'm very grateful to them. In every class, Teacher Marcos and Lydia show kindness, respect, knowledge, and empathy. They respond to many questions we ask in class. In the class, I met people from different countries, backgrounds, and ages, but with the same feelings, fears, hope, dedication, and wishes of overcoming. Finally, I'm absolutely know that ACRS was a helping hand to achieve one of my goals. We all are American. We all are immigrants. Thank God, and thanks to all of you.
I'm not sure you want to sign up for being a social worker like all of us in the field every day, but that's a goal. We'll call you about that one. It's wonderful to be in a place that you all have this down. Do you want to come on tour with us? I want to thank Seattle. What a beautiful way to wrap up this week of action where we've been in community, getting the message out about people like Claudia who need a little bit of help to access this process. And that help goes a long way to helping people achieve and realize their dreams and the hopes for their communities and for their future in this country. I know that together we can naturalize 2 million by the end of 2022. So Seattle and King County, can we naturalize 2 million by 2022? All right. Wonderful. I want to thank Mayor Harrell. I want to thank OneAmerica, OIRA office. I want to thank everybody that's helped put together this week of action, including the many, many people behind the scenes who do this work day in and day out to make this work possible. So thank you again for joining us. We will now open it up for the press to ask questions. Any questions? Okay, if no further questions, we'll be available for interviews. Thank you all for joining us, and let's naturalize 2 million by 2022.